Just so everybody knows, I found the smiley face curly fries at Publix. I bought them. All of them. There's no way.
Luda, no.
Can we even keep that in? Welcome back to the LudaCast. Yeah. As many people requested, I think you guys enjoy seeing the potato more than you actually enjoy seeing me, which kind of hurts my feelings, not gonna lie. Like, it kind of hurts my feelings, just a tiny bit. And then I remember that I don't care. And I'm good. So the potato is back today over on our YouTube channel. I'm not gonna lie. I'm lacking a little bit on the energy. I have a pounding headache. I just popped 2 Tylenols. We'll see if it kicks in. I tried to eat some sushi. I've been talking to my Twitch chat actually about just with new meds, eating has been so hard. I'm not hungry ever. And all food makes me nauseous. So I tried to eat some sushi, and now I feel like I'm gonna throw up. So we're running on a little bit of fumes. I also stayed up till 4 a.m. finishing my book. I am currently going through post-book depression. It's okay. I just need another book, man. And she said there's not gonna be another book. It's okay. I'll just write my own. I'm so sad, dude. I genuinely almost reread the book at 4 a.m. because I was so sad. Anyways, life has been great. I know I have no energy because my head hurts so bad, but life has been great. I did a podcast interview with Terry, and it was my first solo kind of interview with LudaWissy, and I talked for 2 hours, and he was so sweet and let me talk. And I told you guys, I used to hate talking. I hated that I loved talking. I loved talking growing up. It was my favorite. And I would get told you talk too much, or you talk so much, or shut up. So I hated that I loved talking, and I was like, no, I don't like talking. I would tell everyone, I was like, I don't like talking. And so I then forced myself to never speak, which was so sad because I was so little. Alright, I ran into a wall the other day, and I have a giant bruise on my leg, and I just hit it, and it hurts so bad. But yeah, I was so little, and so I told myself, I was like, I hate talking. I would literally repeat in my head while I was talking to other people, shut up, don't talk. Or I would keep count of how many times I had talked and how many times they had talked. And if I was talking more, I would tell myself okay, you're done. No more. Or if I was having a bad day, I'd be like, you're not allowed to speak at all. Do not speak. And it was just such a negative thing, I feel like. Liking to talk was such a negative thing. And it still is hard sometimes for me to admit that I'm a talker. But I am, and there's nothing wrong with that. I obviously have my days. I'm an introvert. So when I'm done with this, I'm going to go lay on my bed while I have some emails I have to send. I'm going to send some emails. And I'm probably going to lay on my bed and stare at a wall. Because I'm exhausted from people. But when I'm recharged, I love talking, and that's okay. And it took me so long to realize it's okay to talk. Find friends that love listening to you. Genuinely, find friends that love listening. Don't search for friends who you will change for. Search for friends who will just listen. If you talk a lot, don't search for friends who don't want to listen to you talk a lot so that you have to try to change yourself to not talk. No. And I wasn't even searching for friends when I found my friends that I have now. And they love to listen to me talk. And sometimes they're like, you don't stop talking or making noises. And it's an ADHD thing with the noises thing. I constantly am making a noise. I'm either tapping or making a noise with my mouth, or going and they're like, shut up. But playfully. Because if they know I'm not making a noise, they're like, what's wrong? They're like, are you okay? Did you have a rough day? And I'm like, I'm just tired. And they're like, okay. And all my friends are guys, and so they're like, okay. And I'm like, is she okay? Did something happen? Should one of us talk to her? Or I'm like, guys, I'm good. I promise. Dude, I say I'm fine. That don't float. I didn't know the I'm fine thing. I grew up where like I'm fine meant like I'm fine. Like I'm not doing great, but I'm not doing bad. I'm fine. Don't say I'm fine around dudes. They freak out. Like I'm fine. They're like, who did something to her? Or they'll be like, don't talk to Lulu, she's upset. Anyways, so I don't even remember what I was talking about, dude. I have such a foggy brain. Oh, talking. So just accept who you are. I've been learning, I mean, I keep telling you guys, be okay with being yourself. And I've been learning, I don't even think I was okay with being me. And just as much as be okay with being yourself, you guys say helps you, I think it's helping me just as much, because my whole life I was trying to be somebody that I'm not. My whole life everyone told me, this is what you're going to turn out to be. You're going to do this. You're going to do this. And it was all out of a kind heart. But I realized I was trying to mold my life to fit the Lulu that they talked about. I was like, that's not me. But I guess I got to do it because that's what they said. No. The best part of movies, the best part of books, the best part of shows is you don't know how it's going to end. You know how mad you get when someone spoils stuff? And you're like, dude, you just ruined, I might as well not watch the whole show. Fun fact, my grandma, rest in peace, she spoiled. I started watching The Walking Dead. I watched the first episode. I got 30 minutes into it. She told me exactly who all dies, what all happens, and all of that. And I was like, Missy, what the crap? She was like, oh, were you going to watch the whole thing? I was like, oh my goodness. She's an elderly woman. She's an elderly woman. She's an elderly woman. So no one likes things being spoiled. So why would you want someone to tell you how your life is going to, why would you want to know how your life is going to go? I don't. No, there might be times where I feel out of control and like, I just want to know what's going to happen. But you really don't want to know. You know, that's kind of the fun of life. You don't know what's going to happen. And then when you do, you're like, oh, that was so sweet. Or you're like, oh man, this is rough. Like this is a plot twist, but like it's part of life. So I realized like I was not okay with being who I was because that wasn't fitting into everybody else's vision of me. And when I finally accepted that, one, I can't please everybody, and I try to so badly, it is like, it's something I really struggle with. Okay, pull up a chair, guys. This is a therapy session. I'm sitting back. This is therapy. I really struggle with people pleasing, and I didn't think I did. Because people said I didn't, so I wanted to please them and say I didn't. And the more I talk with my therapist, she's like, you want everyone to be happy, and you're willing to risk your happiness to make them happy. And I was like, yeah. She's like, I'm not complimenting you. I was like, what do you mean? That's like a good trait. She's like, no, that's not being selfless. That's people pleasing. And I was like, no, because like if I have to sacrifice like everything I love and everything I want to be and exactly who I'm meant to be to make someone else happy, like that's good. She's like, are you okay? Don't answer that question. You're in therapy for a reason, but are you okay? So I realized I have to accept that I do struggle with people pleasing. As much as I don't like people, I really try to please them. Isn't that ironic? Like I genuinely don't like people. Most people. I love my Twitch community, and I love my friends, and I love my family, and that's about it. I don't really like people. They scare me, they're weird, and they make me feel uncomfortable, and I don't fit in, and I'm okay with not fitting in now, but it's like, I don't fit in, so why am I here? I'd rather be home reading another book or playing video games. So as much as I don't like people, I really like do everything to please them. And so I realized like, as much as I deal with people pleasing, I've got to live my life. Because when I'm on my sinking deathbed, all these people I'm trying to please, they're not going to be like, oh my word, I'm so glad that you lived life how I wanted you to live it, and now you're dying. Unfortunate. No, they're probably all going to be dead. I'm going to sit there like, man, I really lived my life for everybody who's literally not even here. What a crap. So I've accepted, I won't say I have like perfected it at all. I mean, you can't perfect things, but like I haven't totally matured it. But I have accepted that I do deal with people pleasing, and I do deal with not accepting myself as who I am. And so I've been working on it. I've been working on letting myself talk. And if somebody wants to say, hey, stop talking, guess what I do? Bye-bye. Because if I talk too much for you, you shouldn't be around me, because this is an all-day occurrence. And if I'm too quiet for you, you shouldn't be around me, because that's also an all-day occurrence. You get the flip or the flop, and no one knows which one's coming. I don't know what that means, but I said it. So, been learning to accept myself, and I think it's really funny how it was something I just came up with, like, be okay with being yourself. And God kind of was like, yeah? Yeah? Why don't you listen to your own thinking motto? Like, are you okay with being yourself? And I realized, I was like, oh man, I really do apologize for being me. And that's not okay. You shouldn't have to apologize for being you. If you messed up and you hurt somebody, apologizing is the right decision. If you accidentally bump into someone, apologizing is the right decision. If somebody puts you down because you're being yourself, you don't have to apologize. Absolutely not. And I know I have a lot of people, a part of my community, that we all believe different things. Some people are Christian, some people are not. No one needs to apologize for what they believe in and who they are. We might not agree on things, but that doesn't mean you have to apologize for being yourself. Unless you're literally out there, like, doing something that'll get you in jail, then, like, you're not only going to be apologizing, you're going to be spending some time in jail. But, like, you know, let's be reasonable about this. We might disagree on things. We might not all think the same way about life. But you don't have to apologize for being you. I mean, even something I don't like about myself, my anxiety, I absolutely hate it. And if I could take anything, I used to be like, when people are like, if there's one thing you could change, what would you do? I used to be like, my nose, because I thought my nose was really big, or like my forehead, because I had a big forehead, or like my voice, because I hated my voice. If there's one thing I could change, I would take my anxiety and OCD. I would just take all of the mental things that torment me and make my head so loud and just wipe them. Even that, I don't have to apologize for it. If you broke an arm, okay? Let's say you broke an arm. And you got it wrapped up in a cast. And you can't do things as quickly as you usually can. Or you can't do as many chores. Or you can't cook. I'm sure you might feel like you need to say sorry. Like, sorry, I can't help as much, guys. I have a broken arm. If somebody truly loves you, they don't even want an apology. They want you resting and good and healthy and healing. So treat your mental health the same way. The amount of times I've apologized for being anxious or having panic attacks or even just dealing with anxiety to the people I love. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I know it's annoying. I know it's a burden. And they're like, who's telling you that? Because we aren't. My bestest friend is like, sometimes I will just be so anxious and I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like, I know I'm just like ruining the night. And they're like, who said that? I never said you're ruining the night. You deal with something. It's no different than if you had a broken arm. Not gonna be like, man, you really have a broken arm. Can't go sinking skiing, loser. No, you accommodate. You go do something else and you still have fun. And when that broken arm heals, then you can go skiing. So don't apologize if you're dealing with things. Work through it and work on it 100%. I'm not saying to sit here. I'm not sitting in my anxiety and being like, man, I'm anxious. That sucks. Anyways, let me prop my feet up and think about everything that could go wrong with my health and my life and the world. No. I'm working on many different things to see progress. I have goals set up, short-term, long-term. I have homework that I do with my therapist. I work on things. I go through scenarios. I rework my brain and say, hey, this is how we're going to look at things. But I don't apologize if I have a rough day, a rough week. I don't apologize if I'm anxious, and I shouldn't. And I super feel like I have to apologize all the time, and I realize I apologize for being me all of the time. What a hypocrite for saying to be okay with being yourself when I apologize for anything. I get super, super excited sometimes, and I love to just, I mean, I get super hyper. I'm bouncing off the walls, and I'm like, oh, my word, oh, my word. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm being annoying. If people can accept you how you are, bye. Bye. Like, do you really want to go through life having to apologize for being you? Or do you want to actually sort through people, friends come and go until you have a group that sticks with you and you don't have to say sorry one single bit? If that means having people in your life who go, man, you're so annoying. Okay, bye. Invite the next people in. But don't apologize, because when you apologize for being yourself, you're showing people, hey, it's okay to not accept me, basically. You know, every time I apologize for my anxiety, I'm basically saying, hey, it's okay for you to not accept me because I deal with something mentally. And I don't believe that. So why am I apologizing? So find a group. That's what today I wanted to talk about, friends and friendship, because I know a lot of the times people bring up friendships and friend issues, and I wanted to talk about it. I would love to do another episode on this where you guys asking questions. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know. But today I kind of want to just talk about friendships in general and some friend issues maybe I've gone through or I've heard you guys talk about or ask questions, and just kind of talk about it, because friends come and go in your life, and when you find a group that you truly feel like is a family, dude, there's not a lot that's greater than that. But it takes heartache, because sometimes you have friends that they stab you in the back and you're like, dude, I never want to speak to another person ever again. And that's okay. You can go through that. I mean, I'm not going to tell you can't have those emotions. That's so unfair. But you got to give people chances, and you got to open up. And so that's what I want to talk about today, because if there's anybody who you can take friendship advice from, it's the person who dealt with so much from people that literally was like, I'm not speaking to another soul again, and didn't. Unless it was my family, I didn't speak to another soul for like years because I was so hurt by people. And now I'm slowly learning that it's okay to open back up. You know, I have so many walls, so many, and I didn't understand what they were, and I didn't try to put them up. I personally was so young when it happened, I didn't know that it was basically me trying to protect myself. But sometimes you don't realize those walls are going up until they're up and they're sturdy, and you're like, man, I'm pushing everybody away. And you feel safe, because if they can't come in, they can't hurt you. But guess what else can't come in? Love, support, encouragement. It's not like there's a strainer and you're straining out the negativity. That would be great. They're brick walls. Nothing can get through. So yeah, you're keeping out hurt, but what else are you keeping out? So my experience with friends goes all the way back to jiu-jitsu. I was in jiu-jitsu with my sisters, and we all usually shared friends. And that's something that's really hard when you have a group, when you have siblings and you all share friends, because you never feel like you have your person. And I'm not talking like romantic wise. I'm just talking about best friends. Girl, guy, I don't care. It's just a best friend. And for the whole, can guys be friends with girls? Bro, all my friends are guys, and they're all singing ugly. So I'm kidding. I'm pretty sure a lot of them are single though. So if you guys looking for somebody, I'm gonna wing in. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Anyways, that's another day. It's another day. Or what if we had like a little a date show with all my guy friends on Twitch? That'd be weird. I don't want to do that. Never mind. So I started with sharing friends, and I had a best friend at jiu-jitsu, and we did a lot together at jiu-jitsu and at church. But we never were allowed to have friends over, and we were never allowed to go to friends' house. So I was like, I never had sleepovers or birthday parties. A lot of you guys were so like, oh, also my birthday pass. Oh, thanks so much for the birthday party, guys. That was my first birthday party ever. The birthday stream, it was literally the best thing ever. I literally cried tears of joy. Don't worry, I'm literally vomiting in my mouth. I cried tears of joy. It was the best night ever. Thank you so much. But we never had any of that. And I know a lot of people are like, oh my word, that's so sad. I'm not saying it to be like, oh my word, that's so sad. I'm literally just like, it's part of the story, you know? Because like, if you're not allowed to have friends over or any of that, you can't really like build super strong friendships, because like I could play video games with them on the weekends, but I could only play games on the weekends. I could never play during the week. It's also why I think I play video games so much, because I wasn't allowed to do it for so much. So if any parents are listening, maybe don't restrict things during the week, because when they get older, they're just going to do it constantly, you know? Anyways, that's my one thing of parenting advice I'll give ever. All the parents are like, bro, you've never had kids. Wait till you have kids, and then you'll see what we're talking about. So we were friends, and we just slowly stopped hanging out because I stopped going to jiu-jitsu because of the band. I couldn't get hurt, because if I got hurt, obviously like that's not good. So I made school friends, kinda. But again, I couldn't hang out with them or text them. I didn't have any way of communicating with them unless I was at school. So they were my friends, but they all hung out after school together or texted each other, and I just couldn't do that. I was like, I have Xbox if anyone has a gamer tag. And they're like, a nerd. So I would say my first best friends, well, in 5th grade, I thought I had 2 best friends. They were girls. And this is also probably why I don't like hanging out with girls, because every time I had a girl best friend, they all stabbed me in the back. All the times I had guy best friends, they just hit me in the back. They didn't care. They were just like, oh yeah, it's our bud. And then like there was no drama or anything. So whatever. So those 2 girls acted like my best friends. They said we were best friends, but then there was this one time that, oh, I've told this story on stream before, because I want to come out with best friend bracelets for merge, because this one time we went to Mosh, and I thought we were all best friends, so we like all tried to sit together, but then there was only 2 seats on the bus, right? So they told me to sit alone, because they were like, we're best friends, so you have to go sit back there. And I was like, they just know that, like, you know, because we'll be like 3, like, you know, I'll sit behind them. They didn't talk to me one single bit. It's whatever. They really the manipulation in 5th grade, dude. So because they would get me to like bring them presents and like food and like all this stuff, and they wouldn't do anything for me, and I really was like, they're my friend. I painted my room color. That was because they were like, well, like if you painted this, all right. Y'all were over here chasing for boys in 5th grade. I was chasing for a best friend, and this ended up the same way, heartbroken. So we went to Mosh, and there was best friend bracelets, and they had 3 best friend bracelets. They had like best friend. So they get a best friend, or I think it was a necklace. I don't remember if it was a necklace or a bracelet. And I looked at them and I was like, oh my word, it was a best friend necklace, and they were robots. I just remembered. I was like, oh, like we got best friend bracelets, and they're like, oh, there's only 2, so sorry. And I didn't have money to buy anything from the gift shop. So I was like, oh, cool. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. And I sat alone on the bus ride home, and I was like, sick. So those were my quote unquote best friends. And then in 6th grade, I had, I almost literally changed from band to choir to be with them. And my mom, thank goodness, talked me out of it. She was like, are you switching because you want to, or are you switching because of them? And when I told them I switched to choir, they got so mad at me. They literally yelled at me. I just remember they literally yelled at me. I was like, bruh, whoa. So I switched back, thank goodness, before school year started. And then I made friends with 2 guys again, because guess what? Those guys literally looked out for me, and they were so nice to me. And we would hang out at recess and throw football around, and it was so fun. And then I made friends with another girl, and she actually, I think I went to the zoo with her one time. It was the first time any of us had been allowed to have like hang out with a friend off of school. And I was like, whoa, this is weird. Her name was Lisa. Oh my word, she was so sweet. So yes, she was so nice and we were all friends, but then I went homeschool and so I didn't have a phone. I didn't have any way of contacting them, so I never talked to them again. But we were like the dream little friendship group. So that was the first time I had friends, and they were really nice, honestly. And I wish I could have like kept contact with them because we all had our little group, you know. But to carry on to like being homeschooled, I had gone through so much with trying to make friends in school and being bullied. Oh, in sixth grade is when I got bullied by like 4 or 5 other girls, and literally one got expelled. One was trying to like trip me and everything, and I was really tiny. Like, I'm tall now. I was so tiny. I was a chunky little monkey. I was like 4 stinking 11 or something. I was so small, and so I like couldn't defend myself, and I was so soft spoken. Bruh. If they came at me now, ooh, I'm fighting them. I am fighting. Just kidding. Don't fight people unless. Honestly though, if somebody lays hands on you at school, call me up. I'll pretend to be your parent. I'll be like, yeah, I'll come pick them up. Don't you worry. I'll come pick them up. Anyways, so yeah, so because I got bullied so hard, I didn't want to talk to people or be friends with anybody, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just play with my cousins online, play video games with them, and I don't care. And we weren't allowed to play multiplayer, so I couldn't make friends online that way. And then when we went on tour, we met the boys that I call them, and Kate and Sage and Blaze, and they are literally still my best friends to this day. They are literally my brothers. I love them so much. They're so annoying, but I love them so much, and they taught me like how people should treat you, and they taught me that it's okay to open up, and it's okay. And when I first met them, I mean, I didn't tell them anything. I literally like barely spoke to them. And over, like, it took years to open up. It took years to talk about, like, literally, like, how I was feeling. It took years to not fake smiles around them. But eventually, I grew up and I matured and I realized, oh my word, it's okay to talk about this stuff. And on the road, I'm not going to drop names because it's so stupid, but on the road, I mean, you become friends with people like twice your age. Like, I was friends with, like, 40-year-olds, and they were so sweet. But you also become friends with people that stab you in the back and use you. And it's like, wait, you were used at like 15, 16? That's so like, no, it's not. And it's like, yeah, it's how the industry is. They don't care how old you are. They don't care who you are. They're going to use you. They're going to chew you up and spit you back out. And they don't care about you. And that really sucks because when you're 15, you don't understand. You're like, wait, so they're not going to, they don't want to talk to me anymore? And it's like, yeah, they just wanted to, you know, like hang out so that they could get a picture. They posted it and now they don't care about you. Or they're like, oh, well, you don't have enough followers, so we don't want to be friends with you. And it's like, oh. So, like, it really does hit you. It's like, wait, so I'm only worthy of my followers? Or, like, when we started to get more followers and more people were like, oh, we want to be friends with you. And then you're like, oh, like, that's so cool. Like, you start to be friends with them. And then it's like, all they do is ask questions about the band. And all they do is, and it's like, oh, you don't want to be friends with me. You are just a fan who wants to know more about the band. It's like, you don't actually care about me. And even when we went to our second church we ever went to, we didn't talk about, we never brought up the band. And I still, like, I don't even bring up my content because people are like that. I know it's weird and people are like, you're not even that big, but it's just, it's like that. It's like that, I promise you. So when we went to that church, even I don't even remember how they found out about the band. And then, lo and behold, no one wanted to be friends until they found out. And then everybody wanted to be friends. And everybody's like, oh my word, you're so cool. Like, this is this. Can we get a picture? Oh my word, this. And it's like, dude, I don't know. Be friends because I'm me. Don't be friends because I have a following on stinking social media. Like, it's so stupid. It's so stupid. I personally don't care about numbers. Like, it's so stupid. So when I try to make friends, I don't care what you have. Like, that's all, to me, that's like fake. That's like if you go to a job, I don't care your salary. I'm not gonna be like, when I meet you, how much do you make? Ooh, that's not enough for me. Sorry, we can't be friends. That's kind of how it is. It's like, how many numbers do you have? Ooh, that's not enough. Or, ooh, you have a lot of numbers. Now I want to be your friend. It's like, it's so stupid. It's so stupid. And I feel so bad for the people growing up under me because they have it really bad. I heard someone in Publix a couple days ago. She was like, I have 230 friends. And her mom was like, no, you have 230 followers. And she was like, yeah. I'm like, oh my goodness, you're like 8. Oh, I feel so bad. Like, they're gonna grow up thinking that people want to be friends with them when they just care about number. I don't know. It's so sad. Anyways, so yeah, I deal with that, and even now, like, I won't bring up that I do content or anything until I actually trust somebody and know someone. Even though online friends that I made, after being friends with the boys, I was like, that's it. I don't need any other friends. And I really, I had been burnt so many times because people would find out about the band and then we get so weird. And they're like, can you post me? Can I be in a video? Can you do? And it's like, dude, that's so weird, dude. No, like, that's my job. I don't tell you, hey, can you go to your job and talk about me, your job? That's my job. Like, that has nothing to do with my worth. That's not me. Can we not, can we see me separate from the job I work? Like, that's not, it's so weird. So I just was like, I'm not gonna make any more friends. Like, this is it. This is all I need. And it was all I need. And it satisfied me. And I mean, it still does. And they're literally my bestest friends ever. So it was really easy to block people off and not let people in. And so I built up more walls because I was like, I don't want any other people in. I don't want to talk about it. I would, like, literally fake, like, what I do. I would tell people, like, I do, like, some random job, and when I had to go on tour, I'd be like, oh, I have to go visit family. I lied to so many online friends just because, like, I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with people, like, getting weird because I'm in a band or any of that. And again, you think it doesn't happen, and I did too, and I would trust people, and then lo and behold, here they are. Hey, can you do this? Oh, wait, you have a lot of followers. And then it's like they like you a lot, and it's like, you did not want to hang out with me this much until you found out how many followers we had. So it wasn't until I met some online friends and I slowly opened up about what I did, and I was like, you know what, why not? I literally was like, send it, brother. I don't even care. I'm so over line. I was like, yeah, I'm going on tour actually. And they were so nice about it, and they didn't bring it up often, really. They were like, cool, anyways. Like, it was so sweet, and I love those boys, and they mean so much to me. And it's so nice to have those friends that they don't see you for your job or your salary or they see your worth in you. They want to hang out with you. Doesn't matter what you look like. Oh, that's another thing, dude. The amount of people that want to be friends because what you look like. Bro, when I was dealing with an eating disorder, people were like, you're so pretty, I want to be friends with you. And when I started to gain weight, I was recovering, people were like, you'll hear that? It's like, oh, y'all are weird. Y'all are weird. I hope you stub your toe multiple times. And then your toenail falls off. You look weird. But yeah, so those friends mean so much to me, and they don't care what I look like, or I could literally look like a rat. All the friends I have right now, I could look like a rat. I have like 5 or 6 friends, I think. Like, best friends that know, like, there's Luda online, and I told you guys, and there's Lulu there's parts of Lulu you will never know, just because I need to have that boundary. I need to have that set so that my online life is my online life, and I have a me. I'm not my work. I'm not my job, and they know that part of me. They know Lulu, and they love her. They see me as a stinking shriveled up raccoon, sick, like blowing snot tissues onto my bed, and they're like, "You're gross." Anyways, you want to watch a show? So it's like, I love all my friends so much. But it really is hard sometimes to make new friends. It's hard sometimes to let new people in. And I recently have been trying to just make some friends that are girls, you know? And I really dealt with, like, if I'm making a friend, they're going to be my best friend, and I'm going to spend so much time with them. Like, that's how I enjoy friends. I enjoy friends that I can spend a lot of time with. That's why I don't make a lot of friends, because I want to be able to spend a lot of time with my people, and I don't want to spread myself too thin. And I know there's people who love having, like, tons of friends. I'm not one of those people. I want, like, 2 or 3 people, and that's it. And, like, that's a lot. That's pushing it. So, like, right now, what I have is pushing it, you know? Some people don't hear from me for quite a bit, because I'm like, listen, I got a lot of friends, and it's like 3. So you're all gonna need to, like, converse, split your time up. Let me know when I can come hang out. But so I know a lot of people, like, a lot of friends, little friends, whatever you like, that's what you like. But I've been trying to make some more girlfriends, and I told myself, I was like, they don't have to be your best friend, you know? You can literally talk every so often, and that's okay. And they don't even have to be, like, friends. They can literally just be, like, people you talk to. Like, not everyone has to be your friend. You can just be friendly, you know? You can talk every so often. And it's so hard because people still, I find people use me and I'm not even that big. And it's like, what? Why? It's so weird. They're so weird. Or like people will be like, after you're talking for a little bit and be like, yo, can you send it? It's like, dude, no, blocked immediately. I thought you were a friend. Weirdo. Pervert. So making friends is quite difficult. But you got to put yourself out there. You got to be okay with being rejected as well. Rejection is not just what happens with romantic situations. I can hear my doggies barking. Oh, they're really mad. Hey, it's okay, Baba. Rejection is not what happens just with romantic. It also happens with friendships. And you have to be okay with that, you know? You have to be okay with being rejected. And so I've messaged people before and have not heard back. And it's like, okay, heard loud and clear. But there's some people that message and they're really nice and it's the start of a sweet little friendship and it's really sweet. And if it doesn't go anywhere, it doesn't go anywhere. It's okay. You just got to put yourself out there, you know? But don't let people use you. It's you don't have to have followers on social media for people to want to use you. You know, people will use you for anything. Like people suck sometimes. But don't live in the absolutes. That's what I used to do. I was like, everybody sucks. If one person sucks, everybody sucks. If one person uses me, everyone's going to use me. That's not true. It's not true because I literally have living proof that not everyone's using me. And still in my brain, I'm like, everyone's going to use me. You can't live in absolutes. But make sure you're not getting used. Because people can use you emotionally. They can literally dump so much on you. So much mental, just all this stuff on you. And yes, you should be allowed to vent and open up to your friends. That is good. Opening up to friends and talking about your feelings is good. Trauma dumping and just vomiting everything onto somebody is not. They're not a therapist. If you are going to trauma dump constantly, you need to see somebody. You need to talk to somebody that can actually sit there and help you digest what you're going through. You don't need to just dump all this onto somebody and then be like, okay, so you want to go get ice cream? And it's like, they're sitting there like, are you okay? A therapist is really, really, really what that is for. So make sure you're not getting used emotionally, especially when those people aren't there for you. If somebody calls you up every time something goes wrong, and the second you call up, you're like, hey, like, my day just wasn't the best. And like, oh, sorry, I'm busy. Over and over and over. They're mentally using you. They're using you to dump everything onto, and they're not, it's give and take. Relationships are so give and take. And I'm not trying to like break friendships up. And if it works for you, it works for you. Fantastic. I'm just saying from what I've seen and from what I've been through, people will mentally use you to dump everything onto so it's off of their plate and they feel better and they leave. That's what I do to a therapist. You know, I pay somebody to dump everything onto, but then she sits there and she helps me sort it out and she keeps me accountable. And she's trained to do that. My best friends aren't trained. Do I go to them when I'm stressed out? Yeah. Do I go to them when I'm mentally like just onward? I don't know what's going on? Yeah. And have I said a lot of what I'm going through and sometimes dump things on them? Yeah. It's human. But I do it every day? No. I don't do it every day. And it's a give and take. If they need to talk about their horrible day or something that's going on in their family, I'm there to listen. But it's a give and take. If someone's just constantly dumping things on you and they're never there for you to listen, they're mentally using you. And if someone's using you for your money, if someone's constantly asking for money, like, hey, can you lend me this or this? I'm all for like lending money, dude. I was thinking, handing out left and right like I'm Oprah. Oops. And I trust God to provide for you. I'm not like stingy with it. But if someone's constantly asking for money and they don't want to hang out, they don't really want to have a relationship, they never want to talk, they just want money, they're using you. And yes, there's so many situations where they're like, well, it's not really using, and you are in control of your life. So if you're hearing me say this and you're like, well, it's your life. I'm not telling anyone to do anything. And even if I was, it's your life. You don't have to listen to me. I'm just saying, from what I've experienced, If somebody is constantly asking for money, but never wants to hang out and never wants to talk and literally doesn't want to have a relationship, they're using you for money. It goes for everything. It's a give and it's a take. And that's what it's yin and yang. Is how friendships last. Sometimes people give more and sometimes you take more. And sometimes you give more and sometimes they take more. And sometimes it's equal. That's what friendships are about. But it's not all about taking. If you're just taking as well from somebody, maybe try to give more. Maybe be like, I haven't really hung out with this person, but every time I'm having a bad day, I call them up. But whenever they have a bad day, I'm always busy and I never make time for them. Make time for them. Tell them you appreciate them being there for you. Thank them for listening to you during the hard times and let them know, hey, if you need me, I'm going to prioritize making time for you. So if you need me, let me know. I will make time for you. But just be careful because I know so many times people get used and they get so sad and they're like, I just wanted a friend. And trust me, I've been there. It's like, I just wanted a friend. But sometimes if you see the red flags, it's a lot better to cut the friendship off than to go through to the heartache of a friendship breakup. As well as I know a lot of people are like, how do you make friends? Like, it's so hard. Do what you love. Do what you love. Because when you do what you love, guess who you're gonna run into? People who also love doing what you love. I'm going to sock my dog. He's so annoying. Anyways, do what you love. You'll meet people there that also love doing what you love. And guess what? Now you're friends, and now you get to go do what you love together. Bada bing, bada boom! Friendship! Boom! Why do you think I make online friends? I've made so many friends through gaming because we're both doing what we love. And I'm like, oh, all right, you're funny. And they're like, oh, you're funny. And then we're friends. And then guess what? We keep doing what we love, but together. Friendship. I'm not over here going to the stinking, I don't know, I was going to say library, but I like reading, but I don't like going to the library. So if I were to go to the library and look for friends, we might have some similar interests because they're like, oh, I like reading. But they're like, I'm here to study and I'm going to do this and this and I'm in this and this. It's like, ooh, study? Not my friend. But if you hate fishing and you go to a lake to go fish to look for friends, they're going to want you to come fishing. You're like, I hate fishing. These people are nothing like me. Because you're looking in the wrong place for friends. Do what you love. That's where you'll find the friends that you need in your life, as well as pray for them. Like, you don't have to only pray for these giant things. You're allowed to talk to God for anything. So talk to God. Be like, God, I really, really want a friend. Try it. Just try it, homie. But yeah, I know a lot of people have asked about friends and a lot of people are hurt from people. But please, 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 please do not just say I'm done with people forever, because I've been there. I've been so done with people. But we need community. Community is special. That's something that I didn't want to accept for so long. I was like, I hate community. I don't want community. I don't want to talk to people. And then I found people that accept me for who I am. And when I'm done hanging out, they say, okay, bye. Have a great rest of your night. And I get to go do what I want. Community isn't something, you don't have to hate your community. You don't have to be a part of a community you don't like being a part of. I found a community that lets me be myself. And when I need time alone because I'm an introvert, they let me go. And so I was like, oh, I understand community now. And when I have something that's great going on, guess what I get? I get texts saying, hey, good job. We're so proud of you. Keep going. When I had a rough day, guess who's there to listen? And when I sink and want to go do something crazy, guess who's there to be like, hey, I want to do something crazy too. And I get to help them laugh and I get to help them smile and I get to listen to them. And it's so fulfilling. And community is so important, but you got to make sure you're part of the right community. You got to make sure they're not changing you for the worse. They're not dragging you down and they're not using you. It's so very important. It's so very important part of life and it's a very important piece of that core. But if that core is toxic, it's going to infect all of the other parts of your life. You're like, why am I feeling so mentally crappy? Look at the people around you. Are they constantly being negative? Are they constantly talking about how life sucks? Are they constantly judging other people? Are they constantly just surrounded by negativity, that toxin is spreading to your mental. Or is your circle and your core literally sunshine and you feel like you're glowing? Because guess what? When your core of community is like a giant sunshine, it rays onto your mental and on your physical, and you feel so much better. You feel just like you're glowing. You know why? Because positivity is spreading through your system. But don't make sure that core is not negative and toxic and pouring just toxins into your entire life. Because don't tell me your community doesn't affect your life. Bull stinking crap, brother. Bull stinking crap. It really, really is important to make sure you have a good community around you that can lift you up, that can be there for you, and you can be there for them, and you can feel like people can depend on you. That's a very important part of us. It's an important decision, and it doesn't have to happen immediately. It doesn't have to happen tomorrow. If all of your friends say they don't want to be friends with you tomorrow, doesn't mean you're a loser and you're worthless. That means, hey, people are moving out of your life to make room for some new ones. That's how you got to look at it. Because I would have said, no more people, I'm done with people, and put my walls up and never let people in. I would not have the people that made me and make me who I am today. So please, please, please understand the importance of community, but make sure you got a good one. Okay? And if you need a community online, come hang out with the Ludawinis. I always try to point out and tell people it's very important to have a physical community. So I don't think, as much as I would love to be able to fill that part, I really don't think I can, because I'm not there physically in person with you. But if you have no friends right now and you have no community right now, you can join us whenever you want. You don't have to be anybody but who you want to be. You don't have to, you may be like, well, she's Christian, I have to. No, just come hang out. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to sit here and think and persecute you. If I'm going to persecute anybody, it's going to be me. I got a lot of flaws. Come hang out. I go live. We have a Discord where we all chat. We talk about mental health. It is a community, and it is friendship. So if you want to add that part of your life, if you think that would really help you, feel free to join. But please understand that there is an important part of physical community, and it does play a huge part in your life, and you need those people that can be there in person to help lift you up. And you can literally talk one-on-one with and know your daily life. So I hope this really helped anybody who's been going through some hardships with friends, or maybe not being able to make any friends, or maybe you moved and you're like, I have no one here. Maybe you're like me and you were so jaded by people that you just cut everybody off and you're like, I'm done. Walls up. No one in. Let those walls down. Talk to people. Give people a chance. And talk to God about it. Be like, hey, I need some people. And then watch all the people flood in. So I hope you guys had a fantastic day today. I hope you enjoyed the pod. Get some rest. I'm gonna go rest up. My headache actually feels a lot better. So Tylenol worked. I'm gonna go paint. I'm gonna be selling my paintings actually coming up. So if you would like to be a part of that and get a painting, I'll probably be doing it on Instagram, announcing it or something. Which is just ludawissy, but I'm gonna probably go paint. Just enjoy my day. Remember to be okay with being yourself, okay? You got this. God loves you, and I love you. New podcast every other week, so make sure you're here. Listen, subscribe, leave a 5-star review. Don't be a meanie. Something, you're a queenie. Join, be a Ludawini. I don't ever remember the outro. Why did I make such a hard outro? I should just been like, bye. All right, have a great week, guys. I love you, and you got this, okay? You got this. I'm your friend. You got so many other friends of our Ludawinis. Go find some physical friends, or let them find you. Who knows? Okay, have a great week. Bye.